Hey everybody, Mr. Sapp here. I'm at the radio setup. We have our audio board. We have 4 mics. You only need to use one. You're going to use the one closest to the computer here. A couple of things you need is you need a script or an outline for what you're going to say, and then Adobe Audition. What we're going to do is you're going to record your introduction so that we can load them into Virtual DJ later and just automate it and hit play, and it'll play your introductions and the songs, and it'll do the mix for us. So that way we can do this and not have anybody here. If you want to sit here and run it, that's fine, but sometimes it's easier to just do the recordings yourself. So first thing we need is you'll need a script, and you'll work on that. I have an outline here because that's, since I've done this a few times and I'm an old guy, I'm going to work off of a rundown or a slight outline, and then we'll need Adobe Audition. So I have my script open. I'm going to open up Audition, and you want to open I open a multi-track editor just so we can get that going. We have Audition open here. We're going to do multi-track. We only need one track, but I like the flexibility of being able to add in other things because we all make mistakes, and it just helps us kind of organize ourselves. Multi-track, I'm going to call this, give it the date of when your radio show is going to be. My radio show will be on the 27th, so 4-27-22 GTV radio, and then put your name on there so we can find it, Sapp. Remember to hit browse, and you want to store it in GTV radio, and we'll save it there and hit OK. And so now we have our tracks. You need to set up your input, so the in arrow is right here, and we want to set that up. We'll do mono, and we'll pick left front. I'm not seeing anything, so stop and go through your steps. Next, we need to hit R for record. That sets it up so that it is ready to record. If you hit I, you can then monitor yourself and listen to it, but there's a bit of a delay, and so you don't want to do that. Mute, we'll mute it. So we're ready to go. What I do is I'm going to do an audio check and make sure that the level is fine. It's right now, it's in the red a little bit, so I'm going to bring it down some, and I want to bring it down to it so it's peaking in the yellow. And we're pretty good right there. And once you start to present, you're going to actually speak a little louder. So it's okay to bring yourself down just a little bit extra and listen to it. You're going to monitor yourself on the audio board, and you want to listen to yourself there. Okay, we're going to, I want to monitor myself. I want to check, you should check at every source to make sure that it's a clear sound. So if I hit, now there's a delay, so I can't talk and listen. So you want to talk, it sounds clear, it's a bit of an echo, but that's because it's picking up the audio there. The level's pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to turn off the monitor, and I don't need to listen to that anymore. Put on my mic audio, and I'm going to listen to myself as I record. So I've got my script ready, I've got Audition ready, and I need to then record. The keys to recording is these mics pick up your audio right off the front here, and so when you speak directly into them, that's good. You want to make sure you're projecting, and you want to be here to about 1 to 4 fingers away from it, and you just want to speak right onto the mic, and you can hear yourself when you move away a little bit. These are not SMBs, these are nice microphones, but they're not the top of the line, so we have to treat them like that, and we just have to think a little bit ahead. So I'm ready to go, and I'm going to hit record. I'm going to go to Google, and I'm going to put Virtual DJ up here because that has some of my songs on there, and I'm ready to go. And you just want to talk, pretend like you're talking to somebody, you're talking to your friends, or just imagine there's people out there and you just want to talk to them. Okay, welcome to GTV Radio. I'm Brian Sapp. Today, start over. Welcome to GTV Radio. It's Thursday, September, oh my gosh, this is why you need to have good notes here. Okay, so we're gonna record, I'm gonna read off the script here. Just present like I'm talking to my friends. Welcome to GTV Radio. I'm Brian Sapp, and today is Thursday, April 28th, and you're listening to GTV Radio on Radio Horizonte. We're bringing music and news to you during your lunch hour. Today we're going to hear from the Smiths, The Cure, and the Smashing Pumpkins. But first we're going to start off with the Steve Miller Band. And then that's the end of your clip. You'll leave it, you can cut that later, and then you want to go on to your next section. That was The Kids Aren't All Right by The Offspring. Next up, we've got GTV News. Ronaldo is going to tell us about the Life Skills Prom, cap and gown pickup, and give you your graduation details. Thanks, Ronaldo. Now we have weather with Henrik. He'll let us know what to expect outside today. I'm looking forward to some nicer weather, so let's get back to some music. We're going to hear Orange Crush by REM. Okay, and then so you'll just progress and go through that as you get ready. So let's move on to the next thing. All right, now we'll come back, we hit stop, and we want to monitor it, so we need to take off our audio board headphones and put on the computer headphones, and go ahead and turn off the record, and you're just going to listen and make sure you'll remember where you have the mistakes, but just give it a good listen. You want to make sure that the audio sounds clear. Okay, and so now when we have these, it's time to export. So let's go into that process. Okay, so after we export it, let me make sure it worked right. Every time you export, you should give a quick check, and you want the WAV file. Probably should do MP3s. We've got our files edited, and we have them on separate tracks, and they do not need to be staggered like this. They can be all together. Actually, we don't want them staggered, so let's put everything up. It'll make it harder to listen to, but name your tracks. Leave these as track 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then that way on our script we know that that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will be included when we do our multi-track mixdown. Do like we would export normally. Go to File, Export, Multi-Track Mixdown, Entire Session. I'm going to give it the title. We're going to leave the title here, the date and the name, so that we know what it is. We're going to get rid of the word mixdown. I'm going to change the format to MP3. It's a smaller size. We want to change our options. We want to get rid of the mix. We want to just include the tracks, and there we go. And we hit OK, and we're ready to go. We got track 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we hit OK, and it exports them. Now we'll go to the Finder, and we have each of the files right here, track 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we've got our files ready. We've recorded. Let's review what we've done. We had our script. We open up Chrome to have our script. We open up Audition to record our script. And then we recorded our tracks using the audio board, setting that up, making sure our volume was correct. We split the clips, put them into separate tracks, lined them up at the beginning so that they start at the same time, and multi-track mixdown, and went through that process. Now we're ready to get them into our show, because that's what's next. So we're going to Virtual DJ, and we want to make our playlist. Right-click, create new playlist, and we'll put the date on there, 04-28-22, and then since each person won't be, then you'll put your name in there. Okay, we'll make a subfolder. We'll make a playlist, put the playlist in there, and so now we're ready to go. Open up our window file, and we want our 4 tracks. Drag them in. There we go. We have them in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next we need to put our music in here. So I have these songs in here. Take my songs, put them into here. Now we have our songs. I know that I have Jet Airliner. Kids Aren't All Right. So we've got Weather. We'll drag Weather over here. And then we will drag, let's take this. Asia is our news, and we'll drag her in over here. And so now we've got our stories in order, and we're ready to go. Right click on it, load in auto mix. There we go. We don't have our stinger here. but we would play our GTV Stinger, and we would hit play once we're ready to go. That was The Kids Aren't All Right by The Offspring. Next up, we have GTV News. Ronaldo's here. He's going to tell us about the life skills prom. So double check. You don't want to play through the whole show, so you just make sure that you check everything's in order. I go through a couple of the transitions, make sure it sounds okay. You load it in the auto mix, and you hit the start button, and it'll play. And then you can let it go. Once you're done with that, just make sure that you shut down everything. You can save, you can quit, and you can bring it back in. If you have any questions, ask me. Really, it's just a lot of practice. When you come in, you need to get to work and do it. It just takes time. It's nothing fancy. Once you get really good at it, then you can start adding in fancy, like adjusting fades and things like that. There's some options in here where you can edit the fade and work on that. But you want to, it's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, you can ask me, but really just practice and rely on each other. Then back to class, get to work, make some great radio.